Hi guys, it's officially summer, which means I have more time to work on stuff that will make me a better athlete. So whether you're someone who's a weekend warrior and you're looking to run a better 5K time, or your preseason volleyball, basketball, football, cross country, this is a time where we can make huge gains in our performance. And one of the biggest things you can do in the off season is stretch. So mobility is huge. So over the course of this series, we're going to talk about how to improve mobility and then how that improves your function. So today we're going to talk about hip flexors. There is singly no more important muscle for mobility than hip flexors when it comes to sport. So my hip flexor or psoas starts in my low back, dives through the front of my pelvis, and finishes in my thigh. Its job is to determine how far my leg can get behind me. Okay, so it's huge in cross-country running, sprinting, anything where I have to push off, but it's also huge in my ability to reach overhead and to reach around the corner. So baseball, softball, volleyball, like these things are super important. It's got to be mobile enough and strong enough for you to get into the position that is most biomechanically efficient for your sport. So mobile enough is the first problem. Why? Because our body adapts to whatever position you put it in the most. So I have spent my entire day at work sitting. I have spent my entire school year sitting. Sitting is a shortened position, okay? I need it to be long. So it needs to be long to spike a volleyball. It needs to be long to stride out when I run. It needs to be long to reach up and rebound, to rotate, to throw. That muscle being long is huge in creating a large rubber band so that you can create more power. So we're gonna go through how to stretch it. The kicker is it's a sneaky little muscle and it tries to hide. It gets most tight in this like 4-6 inch section right here, more so in women than men. And what will happen is your body takes a path of least resistance. So when I am trying to stretch my hip flexor, my low back will try to extend and I can't get it. So this is the problem with dynamic stretching, meaning we're walking and doing the stretching while we walk across the gym floor. Because your body can hide. My low back can do all the work. I'm not getting a focused stretch of my hip flexor. I might be getting a little bit of a warm up, but I'm not getting like a good deep, like let's get this sucker moving. So to do that, a combination of static, dynamic works best. And quite frankly, being in half kneel works best. So if I come down to one knee, now I have taken my foot and ankle out of the stretch and I'm getting more focused on the front of my hip. I can simply be on one knee, my opposite leg in front, so in my belly button, not out to the side. So if I'm opposite leg is in my belly button and I shift forward, that loads that muscle and I should feel a stretch here. If I want to increase the stretch, as well as warm up my abdominals and my upper back, I can reach and stretch here. That psoas is also responsible for your ability to side bend. So if I want to get another level of stretching with it, I can lean forward and side bend, lean forward and side bend. Now, I should be feeling this here. If you don't, potentially your low back is kicking in and we just have more low back mobility than we do psoas. So I can add levels of making it a little more aggressive stretch. I can put my foot up on a step at home. That increases the distance between pelvis and femur, and now I get a bigger overstretch with that foot up. I can also take a PVC pipe, okay, so I have a long one here. This one is about 4 feet. If I block it in front of my knee and put my foot up on a step or on the ground, now if I lean forward and drive this towards the PVC, it helps me get a little more leverage to stretch out the end of my hip. Okay, so if I was an off-season athlete, I would be doing this every single day because the gains you're gonna get in this muscle being more mobile are huge. So I can shift into the PVC, which makes this pull harder, or I can use the PVC as an overpressure. So if I put this right behind my butt cheek and I pull forward while I stretch, that helps focus the stretch to that little hinge area that I get right in the front of my hip, okay, which helps lengthen that. The biggest no-no to stretching hip flexor is I do not want it to bother your low back, and there should never be a pinch in your hip. Okay, so those two things, otherwise big aggressive stretch, go nuts. I can do this one, well, let me back up. So I love PVC pipes. I think every team should have a collection of these. You should have a pad, you should have a PVC pipe. There are great ways to stretch your whole body, which we will go into over the course of the week. But if this takes up too much space, I also have a short one. Now this I can put in my basketball bag, my softball bag, my track and field bag, the back of my car. This guy is really short. So I can't necessarily do the push. I mean, I can, it's not as much leverage, but this short guy works really well in pushing through and helping me get more force on the front of the hip. I can do this stretch in standing, okay? So I can put 1 foot up, 1 foot back. I can lean forward, I can tip away, I can use my PVC pipe in standing. Those are all, that felt like a stretch to me. The downside of doing it in standing is now my foot and ankle can play into it, and I don't get such an aggressive or pure stretch for this hip flexor. So you want to throw harder, you want to be able to rebound with greater vertical leap, you want to run faster, you want to be more explosive. Letting your hip flexor move is huge. We can improve mobility in 7 to 10 days. So if you go through each of those positions, shifting in, shifting out, shifting in, shifting out, about 10 times, once a day for sure, twice a day if you really want to make huge gains, you will notice a difference in 7 to 10 days. Okay, then it's a matter of your muscle being strong enough and understanding how to function in a lengthened position. So you may be a little uncoordinated, you may struggle with the end of that rebound because you haven't learned how to be strong through that new range. But by the time school gets here, by the time your big race midsummer gets here, you're gonna notice a huge difference and feel great. If you guys have any questions, you want me to take a look at your hip flexor, just message me. Thanks.